Hello, it's Dr. Darnese. Welcome back into another episode here from my lifestyle salon where we talk about the high vibe life. Except today we're starting off by talking about this mess with Diddy. You know, you've been seeing it all over the internet, Diddy and Cassie and all of this. So why am I talking about it on this channel? Because when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, right? There's such a mess, a mess. The tea is spilling everywhere. Everything that's done in the dark comes to light. All the skeletons are coming out of the closet. And that is the time that we live in right now. From an energetic point of view, from a grand universal point of view, we take a step back and look at what's going on in our society right now. What's happening is we are leveling up. And that means all of the stuff that's not of a high vibe cannot come into the next level of our evolution. Right now, if you follow metaphysics, you know what I'm talking about. Right? The fact that Andre 3000 dropped the album that he did, and it is a healing frequency, 432 hertz, is meaningful because really, humanity, we are leveling up. Right? We are. There's some other stuff that's pretty disastrous and horrible, and it can't come. It is of a low vibe. So yeah, the stuff that has been done in the dark and covered up for so long, is the light is shining. Closets are being opened and purged, right? It's time because we as a human race have got to level up. We're spiritual beings having a human experience right now. And we got to level up, and there's some things that can come. So if you think about Diddy, I mean, have y'all fallen down this rabbit hole? I mean, for real, this rabbit hole will take you into some places where you just are like, mouth hanging open. Okay, um, what like where should I even start? Because I'm not going to go, point by point with stuff that's happening. You can find that on other channels. We already know Cassie sued him, and she's getting reportedly 9 figures out of the deal. People were coming down on her like, oh, is this a money grab? Why is she doing this to him? Well, we see now because more and more reports are coming out. But this whole situation just lets us see our whole way of life as a society, as an American society, and really as a global society. What is it that we value more? What is it that we really value? You can see because of the kind of society we live in. Money, power, unchecked money and power. That's what we value, right? Those are the gods of our day, money and power. And so people are willing to look away when they see that somebody who is wealthy and powerful and they're doing some really harmful things. People are willing to look away because they still want to be in proximity to that money and power, right? They still want it. So they're not going to do something to tear down that structure that exists. They might watch that person tumble down periodically, but many people will allow the system to remain in place because they want to be part of it. So what I'm talking about specifically, when Cassie came forward with her complaint, people said it's a money grab. They didn't even look and see, is it true about Diddy being an abuser? They didn't really care, right? Because there's a thing called aspirational patriarchy. Aspirational patriarchy, which is some men really aspire to have the same level of power and money themselves. And they need the structure to still be in place so that they can get there too. So if they can hang around men with that kind of money and power, then they get to participate in it. So if that situation, that structure starts to crumble, then people who aspire to it don't have anything to aspire to anymore. They're not going to get the goodies of being rich and powerful like that. So aspirational patriarchy says, I want some of that too. Not, oh, that could be harmful and maybe we need to have a different kind of society. How many people look the other way? Back to Kim Porter with Diddy, right? Kim Porter's mother, baby mama, uh, Misa, right? Another baby mama. I mean, women he had relationships with. I don't even like that term, baby mama. Women he had relationships with and children, and Cassie, right? People have said about them, why are they making a big deal? A lot of men on this internet They still come for women, especially Black women, like we're supposed to be loyal when they are not loyal. They just want to run through us and increase their body count. They just want us to be available, right? Mouth closed, legs open. For real, that's what they want. Mouth closed because I don't want you talking, legs open. And then when I'm finished with you, I'm going to pick another one and keep it moving. And don't you say nothing about it later. So again, that can't go to the higher vibration where we're trying to go. That can't go. So it's being exposed in a major, major way. And I don't think that he's going to recover from this in terms of his business as a person, as a I don't know, formally well-respected artist. Mm-mm. He can't go. I don't, there's no recovery. But it's also bigger than him because there's more people involved than just him. It's pointing out that there is a system in place that is already, that needs to crumble. There's a system in place that needs to crumble. And by seeing him fall, the system is going to change, right? For whatever reasons, humans are just like, we're on a slow boat, right? We got to learn the hard way. And if you think about this, the fact that Diddy called his business Bad Boy, here's some vibrational law of attraction stuff for you. Whatever you name yourself. He told us all along he's a bad boy. We didn't think nothing of that, huh? He told us all along he was a bad boy. And now it's caught up with him. So all his bad boy tea is spilling everywhere. And now some people are like, oh, it wasn't that bad. He's a bad boy, right? And so many of the people who are close to him, bodyguards, employees, assistants, are coming out and saying all this stuff now. It's irredeemable and it's pretty much irrefutable. I mean, I can't speak for every person who has a case against him or who has some allegation against him, but pretty much, his bad boy days are over. Think about this too when I talk about how you name yourself vibrationally, the things that you call yourself, if you get a tattoo. Um, think about Biggie, right? What was the name of Biggie's last album? I believe it was Ready to Die. Somebody will put in the comments if that's not right. But one of his albums was called Ready to Die. Tupac, he had Thug Life on him, right? Tattooed. And I know he had a particular reason why, how he used that word thug. But in our society, what happens to thugs? They go to jail or they die early, right? So many rap organizations, rap labels name themselves after gangsters. What happens to gangsters? They die early or they go to prison. And a lot of those rap artists met with the same fate. Y'all know Death Row Records? Suge Knight, where's Suge Knight? Vibrationally, what you say out of your mouth, right, has power. When you name yourself something, that has power, right? I'm just saying, that's a little side tip for you right there, a little metaphysical wisdom for you. But really, what I want to talk about is like how we can do better in terms of what, as a society, we pretty much value success, or we measure success by money, and that's something that's got to crumble because we've created a false idol. Money is the false idol. It's not. Money is not the root of all evil. It is the love of money that is the root of all evil, and we see it around us plentifully. People will allow all kind of mayhem to go on, chaos, mayhem, harm. People will allow it. People will look the other way because they love money so much they just want to be in the room with it, right? So we have an opportunity here to come up higher, to vibrate, at a higher frequency by saying, no, that can't come. And we're not going to keep treating each other this way. Let us not be one of the people who just live to tear down somebody. We can do better. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the do better train, right? And sometimes as a Gen X, I guess I seem old or whatever. I'm not old, but I do remember a time when when there's a no, there's a boundary. Like not everything goes. We live in a society now where everything goes apparently. Anything and everything goes. Everybody can do whatever they want to do because I want to do it. Well, that might have a negative impact on you. That might have a negative impact on the society where nobody can tell me what to do. And that's what we're seeing now. We really are experiencing the kind of fallout from having a society where we don't really have boundaries. A lot of times it's good to have boundaries and discipline. It's good to have those things sometimes. Because otherwise, you have a society where people are running amok. Our children are running amok, right? People don't have a sense for who they are. They get so much of their sense of self through, you know, all these different platforms, TikTok and Instagram, and people are trying to be perfect. Our young people are suffering with anxiety because they're not perfect and they think they're supposed to be, and they think they're supposed to be a millionaire by the time they're 25. They don't think that they need to learn how to read and write and do arithmetic, like the basics. I'm just talking about the basics. Y'all know I teach. I am a college professor, and I can tell you that young people 18 to 22 are struggling, and they really are struggling even with things like reading a whole book, right? They don't have the attention span. They don't really know how to write because they're used to a keyboard all the time. What does this situation with our famous people, our people in power tumbling, what does that tell us? It means it's time for a new society, a new world order. It is time for a new society to emerge. That's the high vibe that's happening. That's the high vibe we're going to get to. But first, we're going to see these things crumble, right? It can't be that, women are just lined up for these men. Here, take this pill. Here, take this. We're hearing bodyguards who are like, oh yeah, we had pills. We had, spiked drinks for the women. And some men will say, well, those women knew what was up. How did they know what was up? The bottle for the men wasn't spiked. Why would the women know? I'll speak for myself. When I was young, I was quite naive. I moved to New York from Ohio. I was quite naive. I didn't know. How would I know? I don't leave my mother's house knowing that people spike your drink. Well, how? Mm-mm. Granted, I might have been a little more naive than most, but we cannot say when we hear about somebody who has been abusive, especially to a young person, that they should have known and it's their own fault. No. That's why we need to, if you saw my last video, that's why we need to give more guidance to our young people because when, I said something about it's the goal to be naked in public, we have so many of our young women presenting themselves in a hypersexual way. And I'm thinking that a lot of those women do not really understand the consequences. They're just expressing that this is the way I want to dress, but they're not understanding that other people are making judgments about you, and they put you in a category, and that means that you're fair prey. They're the predator, and you're the prey. And they're not understanding that. And that's when it comes to women who are older or other people in the community, Gen X, baby boomers, whoever, to school the young girls and say, that's not going to get you what you think because other people see you as prey. Other people are like, oh, she must be down. Is it fair? No, but it is. It's what happens. So collectively, right, Gen X Auntie here says, we got to do better. We got to say no. We got to set boundaries. We got to have some kind of moral code or discipline, like something that says you've gone too far now. That's not actually acceptable anymore because you're going to do harm to yourself. And as a society, our society is going to do worse. So I'm looking for y'all to put your own comments. What do you think about this Diddy situation? How far down the rabbit hole did you go? What are you thinking? Because I am like, as much as when I hear the details, I'm a little shocked at the details that come out. Maybe I'm still a little naive. I'm shocked at some of the details that come out. I still know that we are on the way to a higher plane of existence. And so I'm not surprised that these things are coming out because the light has to be shined on these things. We can no longer be a society that values fame and money at all cost because it's costing us dearly. It's costing us in every way possible as a society. And at some point, it's on us to wake up. We can't say, why does God allow this to happen? God is like, why are you letting this happen? This is crazy. Why are you? Anyway, let me know in the comments what you're thinking about. And please do share, subscribe, like the channel, share with like-minded people because I want to get a conversation going. I want to, have some more people. I can't be the only one. Put in the comments, you're not the only one. I cannot be the only one. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Subscribe, like, share, let the algorithm pick up on some stuff like this instead of just, all out chaos. All right, bye for now.